to Elle's Nails, where it doesn't take $1,000,000 for your nails to look like $1,000,000. This week's theme is houndstooth. And so I am doing this really classy looking houndstooth pattern on a hollow glitter, which I'm super excited about. And I was thinking about actually drawing a dog with its tooth sticking out, you know, a houndstooth, and making that my accent nail. But I wanted to go a little more classy, so I'm just using the houndstooth pattern. Also, I would have to freehand it, and I'm not that great at freehanding. So here's a drawing of a houndstooth. That's the best I could do. It's just a quick sketch. So, all right. So on to actually what we're doing today. So as I said last week, I'm using gel polish. This is the last time I'm going to be using gel polish for a while. There are some pros and cons to gel polish. It's supposed to, it doesn't chip as bad, but my nails themselves do tend to chip, so I'm still having the same results. It is a lot stronger though, and so it stays on quite nice. And it dries within 2 minutes once you put it under the lamp. Now, there are a lot of cons, however, and that's the reason I will not be continuing with gel polish. It is harder to get off. However, I used a base coat, and I don't know if the base coat had anything to do with it, or if it was just because it was so thick. But this nail on my other started peeling off, and it peeled off completely in one big nice looking peely. And so I actually am doing my nails a day early, because once that nail peeled off, I investigated the other nails and they all peeled off quite well. Normally you're supposed to soak these in acetone for like 15 minutes, but I didn't have to do that. I did when I did my other gel polish. So I don't know if the base coat that I used caused it to peel, or if it was just because I had it so thick and I flooded my cuticles. I like to flood my cuticles. I don't like having that little bit that isn't showing, so I flood my cuticles and then clean them up afterwards. And that's another reason why I don't like gel polish, because once it's on, it's on. With regular polish, when you flood your cuticles and wipe it off, even if you don't get it all, you take a shower and the next day it's all fixed. So that's another reason I don't like gel polish. Despite the fact that it's supposed to be quicker, it's not, because you have to cure it after each coat. So it's taking me like an hour to an hour and a half just to put the base color on, because I have to put the base coat on, and then 2 to 3 layers of top coat of the color, which is this lovely glittery pink, which I actually like. This only took 2 coats, and I thought that was really good considering it's a glitter polish. And then I have to do 2 coats of the pink and then a coat of the top coat, which so it takes 4 2-minute sessions for all 4 of these nails, and then 4 2-minute sessions for the thumbs, and then 4 2-minute sessions for these nails. So it takes quite a bit of time, whereas I can go through all of my nails and paint it with 1 coat of regular polish, and then by the time I get back to the first nail, it's dried enough that I can put a second coat on without it messing up the first coat. And then I apply a top coat, and in 15 minutes that's dry. So yes, it dries faster, but it takes longer to dry in between each coat. So that's another reason I don't like gel polish. When my nails did peel, it was not pretty. My nails do not look healthy underneath. They are quite cracked. So gel polish is not good for your nails. If you're doing gel polish every once in a while, that's fine, but I wouldn't recommend it if you are changing your nails every week like I do. So yeah. Now, one of the great things though, it did do great with stamping last week, if you remember. I have no smears at all. It dried quickly once I put the light on. I really like it for stamping. It works great. So I'm not going to use it whenever I stamp, but I liked that part. And also I really love the color. I wish that I had that color in a regular nail polish. Because it only took 2 coats, and this would have been great if it was a regular polish. Alright, so moving on to actually what we're doing today. Today we are doing houndstooth, and we are going to do a stamp. I'm going to put down a napkin because it does tend to get a little messy. And this is from my Bundle Monster collection of various different swirly whirly designs. I actually bought a bunch of Bundle Monster. I showed you the haul. It was probably a couple months ago. And so I got houndstooth, and I also have my Twinkle Tea clear jelly stamper. And today we're actually going to be using the Twinkle Tea scraper that goes with it instead of a credit card, because sometimes I just change things up. One of the great things about gel polish that I didn't mention, it's great with stamping, does not smear. Also, I messed up my thumb, which you can kind of tell because the skin around my thumb is all black. But when I cleaned off, it cleans off great because it takes a lot of work. I just used regular acetone and cleaned off my thumb and then restamped it. It worked great. And so that is one of the perks of this. Alright, so let's actually stamp something. I got my stamper, my jelly, my scraper. I'm using a lint roller to clean off my jelly stamper. And then I'm going to clean off my plate and scraper with a cotton ball. And my little magic pen there. And see, it does get a little messy. That's why we got the napkin down. Although this is a black mat, so I guess you probably wouldn't notice. But you probably can't tell what I'm doing if I just use a black mat. So I'm also going to clean off the scraper. I do like the scraper, but got such a small lip there. Catches nail polish. Alright, we're using Bundle Monster Black. And as I said earlier, I have this base color, which is a pink. And I got this off of Wish, so I have no idea. It's a website. I have no idea if that's a good brand or not. I just like the color, and it only cost me $3 including shipping. So we're using the Bundle Monster Black. It is really hard to get a good hollow polish for a low price without it being $1 million. Hollow polish tends to run, high range, at least $10 a bottle, and I don't spend that much on nail polish. So I am super excited that I have a hollow polish, a real genuine hollow polish. Alright, we're going to scrape that off, and then I'm going to go the opposite direction too, because the scraper doesn't scrape as fine. I don't know if I mentioned, but I have some clear tape here, and you'll see me use that here in a minute. Alright, gonna push up and down. I got a nice pattern there. And before it dries, and before I mess things up, press down and around and, that's at an angle. You know, it never fails whenever I do this on camera. Well, let me show you what the tape is for. I was careless and did not use the tape when I did my thumb. So let's do it with this one. I'm going to take this clear tape and I'm going to press that all down my nail. Press it on everything. It's going to take off all of the excess stuff around my finger, and then I'm going to take that and clean off the rest. Oop. Okay. We're going to try this one more time because whenever I'm on camera, it never works. You've seen me do this before. If you haven't, you should go back to any of my stamping videos and you'll see that I never stamp right the first time on camera. But my other nine nails, they stamp perfectly fine. Okay, so I'm going to do this off camera so that we don't have that problem again. There we go. That's a nice looking thumb. Alright, so we're going to take that tape again. And we're not going to put that all over our nail this time. We're just going to put that around our nail and clean up the excess. This is great if you don't want to wrap your nail in a latex barrier. This works pretty well. And I mean, even if you do use a latex barrier, you still end up having to clean up around the edges. So this just gets the big stuff before you clean up around the edges. Now I'm going to use a cleanup brush and clean up around the edges a little bit. I thought this was going to be a quick video today, and then I droned on and on about how gel polish isn't so great for your nails, and now it's almost 14 minutes long, and it's going to be like 15 minutes long before I'm done. Sorry about that. Alright, so that's pretty good. Now I am just going to take this lovely top coat here. No white top coat. And it works great, no smearing at all. It's very thick, which is probably why it doesn't smear. I'm going to apply that to my nail. And then I'm going to take a cleanup brush. It's a different cleanup brush just because this one is thicker, and I've been using it specifically for gel polish. because I used it for regular polish right after I used gel, and it got everywhere because it had gel still on it for some reason. Alright, so that's cleaned up. I'm going to cure that for 2 minutes, and then my nails will be all dry and beautiful. So that's it. That's it for the houndstooth nails. And that's it for this time. Next week, we're going to go back to regular polish. And we are going to have a very lovely animal-themed nail. And we'll see you then.